The Wingsung 629 is a pretty classic cigar-shaped fountain pen. It's offered in a wide variety of customized options, and I'll try to go through those as we walk through the design of the pen. First of all is the color. It's offered in red, black, and the blue that we have here. Also the trim, I have it in gold, but you can order it in silver as well. The top finial is flat with a matte gold cap that has the Wingsung logo in a stylized Mandarin script, and the bottom is flat and blank. You can also order this with rounded finials. The top finial is separated by the cap with a single gold band that includes a bent metal clip. The clip is not spring-loaded, but it is very functional. And as we work our way down the cap, we have a 3-piece gold band at the bottom. The band says Made in China, Wingsung 629. There's then a little bit of exposed plastic followed by a step down to the barrel. The cap comes off in 1 and about a quarter turn to reveal a nice 2-tone stainless steel nib. This one is marked F for fine, but it also comes in extra fine. Below the nib we have a metal flare-up followed by a tapering section and then threads that are smooth to the touch. Below the threads we have an ink window that's a bunch of slotted cutouts. This one is also available as a solid clear piece, but I like the slots as it's kind of subtle, and as we saw on the Wingsung 601, it is quite usable and functional. The barrel then tapers down to a metal band followed by the piston knob, which I demonstrated during the unboxing. In the hand, the pen is lightweight, especially for a piston filler. It's also very well balanced unposted, but the cap does post deeply and securely. It backweights the pen a little bit and it makes it a little bit long, but it's definitely a very good posting pen. In terms of size comparisons, here we have the Wingsung 629, a typical Pilot G2 rollerball pen, and your standard Sharpie. To disassemble the Wingsung 629, you're going to need a tool, either an adjustable wrench or this, a Wingsung wrench. You can find these pretty easily on eBay and AliExpress. The cap unscrews, and you can further disassemble this cap, but I don't recommend it. The finial has plastic threads that go into a brass insert, and it's very easy to strip those threads. In fact, that's what happened while I was filming this, and currently the cap is being held by Gorilla Glue. The nib and feed should be able to be pulled out, however mine does not. And that could be for one of two reasons. Either there's a manufacturing defect, or it's the fact that I misplaced this pen for about 4 months while it was inked. When I found it, I uncapped it and it actually wrote, which is really impressive. But there might be some dried ink that's still in this section, and that's after running it with pen flush, soaking it in warm soapy water, and using an ultrasonic cleaner. The piston unscrews, and then we take our Wingsung wrench, put it into the flats, and screw the piston down. With the wrench, rotate it clockwise to unscrew the piston unit. Pretty soon it should pull right out. At this point you could run water through this with a bulb syringe. And the piston further disassembles. Rotate the piston knob and the piston comes out. There's also a metal trim ring. The piston knob will fully unscrew from the rest of this unit. And then we have a 2-piece, a sleeve, and a key. At this point, the pen is fully disassembled. To reassemble, let's start with the piston. The key goes into the sleeve, and the trim ring goes over this. Be careful when you place the trim ring, as there is a top and a bottom to it. Right now I have it in the wrong orientation. You can tell because this little flange is not being covered up by the trim ring. So I'm going to flip it around. There. Next, we'll put the piston onto it. And then the piston knob on the back, and we'll screw that down. And we can see that there is a little bit of daylight between the piston and that trim ring. So we're going to have to do a little bit of trial and error to get this to line up just right. What I'm going to try and do is I'll screw the piston knob down a little bit, and then I will try to engage the piston itself. Closer. We'll give it a little bit more of a screw down, and then add the piston. That looks just about perfect. Next, we'll put that unit into the pen body. Unscrew the piston knob so that we can access the flats for the wrench. And then screw the wrench down counterclockwise until it's nice and tight. At this point, the piston should be fully functional. That looks good. Put the cap back on, and we're ready to ink up. Okay, inking up the Wingsun 629. Today I selected Waterman Serenity Blue. I feel like it's a nice deep blue that should match the pen body pretty closely. Cap unscrews, and we're going to want to extend the piston all the way down. Submerge the nib into ink and drop the piston. As with all pistons, I like to do this twice, extend the piston back down and drop back up, just to help get air bubbles out and give you a good full fill. That looks like a pretty full fill. We'll go ahead, wipe off the excess ink. Cap up the ink so we don't get a big mess. Put the cap back on, and we're ready to write. Okay, writing with the Wingsun 629. Cap unscrews. This nib is a stainless steel fine. Don't know if it comes off across on the camera, but it is a very smooth nib and very well tuned, especially for this price point. I'm quite impressed with it. Our ink, again, is Waterman Serenity Blue. For flex, you can get a little bit, but there's not much line variation. And for reverse writing, actually it's a very good reverse writer. It makes an extra fine line. The feed kept up pretty nicely. It maybe got a little bit dried out towards this T, but not at all bad. And it was fairly smooth, so I would say it is a good reverse writer. So what do I think of the Wingsun 629? There aren't very many pens that I can think of that have so many options that you can customize. And if you are into personalizing your pens, I think that this is a rarity and has a lot of value in the fountain pen market. I think the overall pen has a very classic look that's going to age well over time. The pen, again, is very comfortable in the hand. I think it's great for quick notes as well as long form writing. And if you want to post, you can deeply and securely. Also, I didn't mention when the cap posts, it does not post on the piston knob. so you don't pose a risk of rotating that piston, which is a great feature to have. In terms of areas to improve, I don't have too many. Again, the pen does feel light, and that's mainly because the piston mechanism is plastic. It would have been nice if they used a brass mechanism similar to this Moonman TI 500. I think that would have added a little bit of heft, and it might have helped some with balance when you post the cap. Besides that, there isn't too much. The finial, I think, is a little bit out of sorts, being matte gold while the rest of the trim is shiny. I think it would have been nice if the rest of the trim was also matte gold. That would make this pen kind of stand out among the rest. Besides that, in terms of cleaning, it would have been nice if the section was removable. As I mentioned, the nib and feet on mine are stuck. I'm going to continue working on that. Maybe I can get it loose. But for quick cleaning, it would be nice if I could unscrew that section. But besides that, I think it is a fantastic value, a interesting pen in the fact that you can customize it so much, and the fact that it writes well and is comfortable, both for notes and long form writing. I think that there is a lot of value in this pen. And that just leaves me to say, thank you for watching.